Hey everybody, and welcome on back to Building with Whip. What a wonderful day it is to be playing some Minecraft. Oh man, I am super excited to get back into the world. And today we're gonna do everything except building trees. And that is because the last episode we came through here and built up about 30 trees. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed that time lapse of building up this entire forest up here. This whole thing right here is brand new as of last episode. We chopped everything else down, brought it all in here, and it's looking pretty freaking fantastic. I really do love this area right here. It's so nice. And I left my horse over here. We can bring him back with us. But today, what we are going to be working on is something a little bit different. If we can even get the horse out of this area. Let's see, can we get it? Oh yeah, nice, just like that. Today, we're going to be working on something a little bit different here. We are going to be going back into the city, working back on the docks yet again here. Let's see, can we do this? Oh, yep, professional. There we go. Flying through our village here. Man, I have not walked through this village in quite a while. But anyways, as I mentioned, today we're going to be working on something over in the docks. Over in the docks today, we are going to be building up the Shipbuilding Station. You guys may have heard me talk about previously how I want to be adding in a small station where we can be building up like rowboats and smaller boats and things like that. And I've decided instead of having this building right here as a building and this one as its own building as a little workstation for our shipbuilder right in here, I think this is all just gonna be one giant shipbuilder. So we're gonna build these whole things over here. This is gonna hold in some resources and all that good stuff, everything we could need over here. I'm gonna have like a boat in the works right in this area. We're gonna build up the crane here, ready to go to pick up some logs and things and drop them down into the water. So we need a crane that can basically grab a boat that's right here, extend out this way, and drop it all the way down into the water out here. So we got to figure out a cool design for a crane and all that good stuff to be able to tackle that type of things here. It's going to be a pretty big project for today's episode. With that, we got to get this thing laid out here with a bit of a wireframe to get ourselves started. I do have some horn coral in my inventory right here. That is my face on the horse. And what I wanted to be doing with this stuff is actually making the walls of our area here this lighter gray color that we can get by letting the coral die. So this one right here looks a little bit like stone, but it has just that slight different color tint to it. And I think it'd be really cool for a base structure in here to help bring everything away from being stone, 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 stone. So that's the plan for today. Let me get myself together here. Let me get my head on straight so we can get a good idea for this whole thing, and I'll be back with y'all. You know, I completely forgot to mention this. I've been working on bringing this whole area up here. This used to be just a giant hole in the ground. I decided to bring in all the grass here to get ourselves a little bit of a slope coming up in here. Still working on getting all that dirt stuff in here because I've also been coming underneath and placing torches all over the place, so it's a little bit more safe in here. But let's get over to today's build. All right, I've been doing a little bit of work trying to get a few things here together. Mostly starting from this side, working over towards this side to, you know, just going from the water side over here. So we have a little bit of stuff going on with this one. I've decided that I wanted to turn this into a 4x4 tower. So it's going straight up. We got a 2x2 center to it. Then this actually, I thought it'd be a cool idea to make a bit of an archway down here. We're going to round this guy out a little bit more so it looks more grand and entrancey and all that good stuff. So hopefully that'll work out here at the end. But I figured like a portal entrance or something like that coming down into the docks would be a cool way to enter and leave the docks. And then also that allows me to extend this bit out over here so we can have another roof section sticking out a little bit further for like an office space or something like that sticking up above. Then down here, we're just doing that guy straight across like that. Then what I was thinking is that right here, we have a great opportunity to just cover up this space. So right back in here, we don't have a whole lot of things going on with it, but I was thinking right here, we could actually create like a covered section so they could have like the front of the boat working on here. Maybe they got some workstations lined up against this guy, but this is still like an outside area that would connect into the like workstation and whatever boat they're working on in here. Then we got a big doorway right with this one that can bring us up like a so. Bring all this good stuff in here. And I'm thinking on this one, we probably want to just bring these. That's actually an even number. We're going to leave this as a straight wall. So we're going to take you up another 3 blocks, you up another 3 blocks, and then we're going to bring this guy all the way up to that. I think that's 8 high. Let's see. We're going to go right like you. Bring this one all the way across here. And then do another 3 like that. And then that allows us on this corner right here. Yep, thinking caps on as the night's coming in. We're going to be bringing you up right like this. And that allows us to get a nice little point sticking out here. Finish off the front of that one. Then we can do right along this guy we're gonna need some way. I want to actually, instead of having the doorway be right here, I was thinking this could be a doorway coming up exactly to the second floor itself. So our door would actually be sitting right at that point. So we can fill these three guys in right here. Then that allows us to have a door right like that, which could be pretty cool and interesting. Mix all this stuff up here. And then I'm thinking we probably need to get another point coming out of this one. So let's go 1, 2. And actually we can bring this one in. So you can do 1, 2, 1, 2. And then just 1, 2 right like that. And we missed the jump. Okay, well that's totally fine. Need to bring those 2 blocks back down here real quick, and then we can basically just bring that along the side of this one, coming all the way back up to here, and that should be pretty good right there. Obviously, we're not going to be using stone for a lot of this guy. These are all just placeholder blocks at this time, but I want to give you guys a decent plan of what's going on with this one, because there's a lot of different moving parts coming together here. This probably is an awful design for what you guys were hoping to see for the plan of this one, but in my brain, this actually makes a lot of sense for me. So let me go ahead and get these base walls on throughout here, bringing a lot of this dead horn coral in throughout. We're basically going to be just piling it up on the corners here like this, using some stone brick on the sides to fill everything else in, and I'll be back with y'all. To help keep with the theme that we've been using in the rest of the city over here, I want to take a few of the pattern designs that we've used previously over here and take that into the rest of it. Let's go ahead and take a quick flyover in this area. And in a few different places, we will see that we're actually using, I believe it's right up in here. You know, we might have actually not used, oh no, it's right over here. Okay, perfect. So we're using the stripped spruce log and then the stripped oak log there in the center. And using at the different like floor levels, we're using those sticky outy bits almost, where we're just facing that log out to get a little bit of extra detail to it. I'd love to do that today on our build that we're using right now. And then also on top of that, I'm thinking that we want to go ahead and actually get some sort of like a dark prismarine roof on the top of this guy. So what I want to do now, before I can pretty much speed through the rest of this, maybe we'll kick it off into time-lapse mode or something. But I was thinking that we could easily just come through here real fast, like super fast, and just do some guys like this to get some placeholder blocks in here. And we need to just quickly take some oak logs and dot these guys all the way around here. And we already messed one up. And just take these ones all the way around like this. We're going to get rid of that dark prismarine here in the center here very fast. So those ones are all basically going to be the strip logs that are the bases down there. And then we need to basically just take these and 3 stack them going all the way up. I'm thinking the spruce logs, we're going to want to stick them out on the ends like that, so they're sticking out towards the street and roadside itself. And then right there, do that, bringing these ones all in right here, and then stack the rest of these guys up by 2. I'm thinking this would be a pretty solid opportunity to get some window bits on the sides of these. We might make them just 1 tall windows. I think that might probably actually be best. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that actually. We can just do quickly right there, place all those 4 in, break them all out. I'll get rid of that dark prismarine here in a sec. Unfortunately though, this roof design on this one is actually only, I love using dark prismarine as a building block, you know, it's just a scaffolding. Yeah, that's definitely something that you see every day. But unfortunately this one is on an even level, so we do need to figure out some way that we can get the roof to work in here like this one. But we should be able to make up something here pretty quick if we just take out this dark prismarine. And I'm thinking we just do that kind of basic trim that we have been doing. So we can just bring you out like this, bring this one going all the way up here, step ourselves up, and then do something like you maybe. That might actually work. That would be pretty cool. So we can do something right like this, and then bring this one all the way back down. Yeah, we're definitely doing 1 high window since we're bringing this thing all the way down right here. But I think the dark prismarine roof on this one could actually be pretty cool and help add a little bit of extra interest to the area. So I'm pretty excited to see how it's going to turn out. I know it'll be very green and prismarine-y, but I think that's kind of what I want to be going for on this one. I'll tell you guys what, let me get the base shapes set up for the rest of this house here, because we got a lot of work to be doing in today's episode. There's a lot of things we tackling. So it's basically going to be this, but lining it up in the different ways throughout the entire thing. So I'll be back with y'all once that is finished up. So this is a little bit awkward. You guys might notice something different here with our levels. 1, we've got a lot of work done. 2, I managed to smash my face into the ground and die. You can see right there, I fell from a high place. To reenact here quickly what we're doing, I was like, oh, you know, I don't want to throw an ender pearl. I have so many more rockets. Ender pearls are a little bit hard to come by. I got to go all the way out to the end. So I went all the way up here. And I was like, oh no, we're fine. We can just swoop down here and do a little like 360 spin move thing and land on the roof. And somehow I was going so fast that I went up and died. So we lost all 300 levels that we had been saving up. But good news here is that our roof is getting to be on place, and I'm going to be the smart man now and just ender pearl our way up here. This guy here is looking a little weird. It's got a lot of dark prismarine going on with it, which I like. I think I like this. And overall, I like the general shape of everything here. It feels very natural. I am thinking about this section right here instead of what it is currently. I was thinking about bringing in some stairs to give it a little bit more of a point. So if we actually brought stairs all the way along this guy, we can bring this up into a central area where it's going to look like a slab is actually connecting everything, which hopefully will be pretty cool. Yeah, so that'll connect there. We can basically bring this one going all the way around. And perfect, so that brings us up to just a little bit of a point along here. I am thinking about bringing some more things like that one in here. However, what I was thinking with those is bringing some dark oak in. I don't have any of that stuff in my inventory besides a few dark oak fences right now, so we'll come back to that one later. Next, what I wanted to tackle with you guys here was how we're gonna do the little overhang passageway. You see we got a door right there, we got a door right there. I was envisioning that this area would be more or less covered up a little bit more than it currently is. So what I'm thinking is we bring this out to being right about there. That allows us to bring in our spruce slabs just like this. I'm thinking we do the spruce slabs right back here as well. Then we can bring in our spruce trapdoors to give ourselves a little bit of variation into this one, just so it looks a little bit stronger and everything like that. And I think that'll work great right there. Using another ender pearl safely to teleport ourselves up here. We'll only take a heart and a half of damage there. I did want to bring out, originally I was thinking spruce might be good along here. So something like this. And then I wanted to bring those all the way up to the corners right there, which I think would be pretty good for like an overhang area like that. And then the people here can do some little bit of work on the boat or whatever that's going to be resting down in this area. So maybe we turn that one actually into a fence gate right there. That might be a good idea. Fence gate in place. I think this looks a heck of a lot better, and it gives us the ability to have a walkway for some people to get out here and do some work on the boat more easily. That being said, I did want to show you guys, if we can get out of the door, the next thing I've been working on here. I think we already walked through this area briefly, but I did decide to bring in a second floor to this building so that we can have some way for like an office area up top, or maybe some additional storage or something along those lines. I do want to open that window up there to be a little bit taller. I don't have the white stained glass panes on me right now, but the important part is our doorway for how we're getting up to this area. I figured we could just create a dark oak staircase right along the corner of this. I love adding these details to the buildings for like walkways that are raised up above the street, because that still gives us space down here to say like store some things, or people could move around and slide around and avoid things that are going on all over the place. And then quickly to get up into the building, you can just slide right up here and you're inside. I think that's a great kind of way to hide the entrance, and it makes it so we can have more creative uses for stairways. What I was thinking next though, was I did want to come through here with some acacia leaves and dot these along underneath the windows to make it a little bit more green, a little bit more earthy feeling, similar to what we have going throughout everywhere in here, seeing as we have like the birch ones like that. And I think that'd be a pretty good touch throughout. So this area over here is supposed to be a little bit more industrial, but I think even with the windows, that'll help be a bit of a transition between the stone bits that we have down here with the dead coral and the wooden bits at the top. I think we need some form of a transition for that. So let me do a little bit more work detailing this lower part out, and then we'll get over to tackling the tower. Very quickly here, I'm torn on this one. I tried bringing in some dark oak here at the top around a window border. Let me know what you guys think about that. I like it as it breaks up the dark prismarine, which I think can get very repetitive. I don't know, should we keep that? Let me know in the comments. After a few minor changes have been made around the area, I'm thinking it's time that we tackle the top of this here tower. I've been thinking about this one pretty long, and what I want to be doing up here, and I have an idea that could work out pretty well. Today is a lot about experiments. I think it's good every once in a while to tackle your Minecraft world and just experiment. We're gonna try something brand new here. I've never done this before at all, and I'm hoping it works out pretty well. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna create an open air tower up here. So this is gonna be something that maybe somebody can come up here, maybe like, I don't know, one of their kids loves having a lookout area or something. So the kid of this, like some of the kids that run around this shipbuilding area, they like to come up here to adventure, just look out over all the boats coming into the harbor, everything going on in the area. So this gives them a little bit of a place where they can come up to the top and just hang out. So that's the idea with what we're going on for this one. And we need to get up on top of this guy and break that block. Goodbye, stone brick stair. You'll probably despawn by the time we get back. And what I was thinking was just on the top, we could bring in these guys right like this. What I'm thinking for the top of this one, there's a lot of thinking going on here, of course, is we probably want to do something with dark oak wood just to help break things up a little bit more than what we've had previously. I was thinking dark oak wood would be a good place to start. It does make an interesting challenge for us here as we're trying to do this because we are working on an even area. So evens are a little bit difficult for roof designs, trying to make them come to a point, especially with what we're trying to do here. Parkour professional, jumping around all over this place, but quickly I'm gonna finish this one up. And this gives us a bit of a better platform to stand on here. What I'm thinking is we probably want to take these ones all the way around here, spike these up a little bit more. Then that brings us to a point where we are actually out of dark oak stairs for the most part. But what I wanted to do was create this into a box right here, bringing this one all the way around like that. And then up on these ones, we're probably going to be bringing this up a little bit more. I do want to spike it up pretty tall. So what we're going to do on these corner bits to help like smooth it out a little bit more is bring in some more stairs right there. Let me craft some more up real fast. We might be low on dark oak wood to do this though. That'll probably get the job done. So I think right here, we can bring this one up yet again. And then we are going to be bringing those stairs in a little bit like this, making it look like we have a central point right here. I would love to be able to bring it in so we have like just that quarter of the block that's connected there, but unfortunately that's not quite possible. So that allows us to close up the area right there. And then we are up on this point. What I wanted to do originally was like create like one point that comes up a little bit further, but I think that'd be a little bit weird. So we'll probably do this one right here, then just simply create that like skinnied up circle area that you can do with that. And that might do the trick for us here. This is gonna be a big experiment. I don't really know what it's gonna look like. And let's do the mumbo jumbo, fly around and turn and see what this area is looking like now that we have everything in place here. That's very spiky. I think I'm gonna have to alternate this. I think I'm gonna have to break it up. I don't think I can really, oh, come on, get us back up here. Come on, right like that, right here. And then I think I gotta do it. I gotta have that one single point to it. I don't really like the idea of what we had right there. So what I'm thinking is we can probably have maybe the point right on that one. And then we can have maybe you right here. That one come up like this. And then we do that. And then what if we take you up just like 2 blocks right like that? Let's do the mumbo jumbo round 2 of, let's take a look. I like that a lot better. I think that works a lot better for what we're doing there. I still think it's pretty heavy. I don't think it's too perfect, but I think for now that'll do the trick. I just want to have something up here that really messed with the skyline a bit more and broke the skyline up a good chunk. I am going to bring some stone brick coming up the corner pillars of these, so it's not just the stone going throughout. So let me do that real quick and I'll be right back. After doing some more work, we are ready to work on this area right here. I did bring in a little bit of a plan so far for what this stuff's going to be looking like. However, you can see we have some coarse dirt in my offhand right here. And I want to, basically, the idea behind this area is we are going to have some like just dark oak logs right in here that the boat will be sitting on. So I wanted to have a few of them like stretch out every other block or so. And then basically the idea is that these guys would roll over this way with the boat on top of it. The crane would pick it up right here and roll it over there. I know that's a lot of movement. So this thing would like turn, position itself, and everything would move down into there, being all smooth and dandy. So with that, I wanted to break this area up a little bit right in this bit and throw in some coarse dirt to make it look like this stuff is actually like moving back and forth. I love using dirt and those different aspects to show that your builds are kind of moving around, or showing that there's like a track where like maybe a cart or something came through the area, so the wheels are tracking in dirt and they're moving things all over the place. So I think it's a great way to be able to do it. You can also scatter a little bit more around the area in general. So maybe we have one, maybe it like sometimes they'll come all the way back over here if it's like a bigger one that they're working on, something like that. But that was kind of a cool idea of something that we could easily throw into here. And I'm thinking we probably want to do some lights into here because they might be working some late nights, and we also want to defend ourselves against some creepers. So that's probably a good idea because this is not very mob proof right now. After sleeping the night away like a little scaredy cat that we are, it's time to build up a little bit of a skeleton of a boat. I want this to look like they've been starting to etch away at the hull of a boat and they're trying to design it a little bit in here. I was thinking we could have something like this coming up the front here, then probably just creating a rough idea of what this would look like. So we want it to be looking like they have a rough idea of what this boat's gonna be looking like in the end, but there's still progress being made on it. These are supposed to be little rowboat designs, so it's okay if we have something here that's rather basic for now. This is, again, it's not even supposed to be a finished design. It's literally just supposed to be something that they're kind of working on, and it's in the works very much. So something like that, I thought could be a cool, very basic boat design for something on the smaller side. Maybe we have that they're trying to etch in these bits right here, so maybe we have like one of them. We can have it off-centered a little bit, or maybe we'll do both of them. Then throw in these guys right there. They're still trying to like whittle around the wood and bring it all in together, make it look all nice. And there's our base design for a boat of something like that we can bring in. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing for the crane here, but I do know that we have a lot of space and we can get rid of these dirt bits right here. Let's just throw some cobblestone in those guys. And we got a lot of space to work with here, and we got a lot of things that we can do with it. So let me get an idea in mind and I'll be back with y'all. The ideas are coming out, the brain is turning, it's all the gears are moving, all that good stuff. Can't think of any words to this, but I have the base of the thing down. And what I was thinking here, to make it look like it can turn, I created a groove down here using stone bricks that goes all the way around in basically a circle. So that looks like this thing can then, has maybe some wheels that are on the corners right there. And so this thing can slowly turn just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Now, that leads us to an interesting point. Looking at this boat, if we grabbed it in the middle, perfectly in the middle, we'd be able to turn that and drop it down. But with only one strap, there's worry of it toppling over that side or falling over that side. So that leads us to an interesting point to where up here, we are going to need to include two ways to be able to pick up the boat. And what I was thinking was we could just basically bring them out, one like this way and one right like this way, just so we can have a bit of an area for like some extra support here in the center. And what I was thinking was we could basically take some oak wood, or spruce wood, sorry, and stretch this stuff all the way out right like this. So we're gonna just take it to like a half slab or two up like this, just a few blocks. And then I'm thinking I'm gonna do one more right there just to make it a little bit longer. And we do want to repeat that coming out the back here, just so we can have that, again, that extra bit of like depth and strength off of it. We got to be careful with bringing it too far out this way so that it doesn't look like it's actually like going to hit against anything. And then let's do, yeah, that's, we want to make sure we are going to need like a counterweight back here, more or less. Let me get this other one on this side. I'll be right back. Inside of Minecraft, unfortunately, as you guys have heard me mention many, many times, we do not have any form of a rope. And what that leads us to without having any form of a rope is we have to come up with some way to symbolize rope, or symbolize something that they could use to like reel in and do all that type of good stuff with, so we can make this area look detailed. What we use on boats constantly that you guys will see in builds is people use fences to symbolize this, as it's pretty easy to move them around. And once you have a lot of them, it looks similar to like a ropey-ish texture, or ropey-ish something or another. So what I'm thinking is along here, I was thinking originally I want to bring those guys down, but now that I've been looking at this one a little bit more, I'm thinking it almost might be best if we probably bring these ones down like right back over here. And then this is going to tie us into a central point right there where we can bring them together. And so that'll come back into one area. And then here is where we're going to have our counterweight. I figured a great way to have some counterweight here would be having some like iron hanging down from it. So if they need to raise the boat up, they can drop the iron down. I'm okay with this kind of blocking the area right here. But I was thinking maybe instead of it being so big like that, we have it like being like a big weight that's like going all the way back there. And I do want to make it look a little bit more supported, like it's actually being balanced up here. So we're going to be using some just spruce trapdoors there to balance this guy out a little bit. So we have our counterweight back there. And then this thing over here, because that's probably raised up, that would be showing that we might have a little bit of slack in the line, or things over here would be hanging down a little bit further. And we need to pillar ourselves up a little bit higher, all that good stuff, a little bit. So I was thinking that it would basically come hanging down off of that guy right in here, and we'd have some sort of a platform hanging out this way. So that would be one of them. As I mentioned, we need two ways to grab this thing. So we want to quickly bring this one out right all the way throughout here. If we can connect these up, that would be great. And we need a little bit more of that. Perfect. So to make things a little bit lighter so we can see a little bit better and a little bit further and a little bit of fires over there. I promise I'll stop saying that. What I was thinking here was we could simply just create this guy, bring him right across here, and that more or less would look like we have some area where this thing could sit on top of it. That obviously would like stretch around it, and that would go all good and dandy and all over the place. But what I want to do actually is create 2 separate ones so we can basically slide the boat in, like coming straight back here, right like that, or we can slide it in going this way if it's a little bit of a longer one, and we would need these things all connecting up right like this. I know this one's gonna look a little weird. It's probably a more interesting design than you guys have ever seen for some way of building one of these crane things. I think that'll work though. I think that's something that we can do. I think I can add a little bit more detail to this throughout, and then we'll be good. I think that's probably my brain could be hitting its creativity max for the day, but I think that's probably the way I'm thinking we're going to be going with this one for now. Maybe that's not even with a fence in my hand. The creativity for the brain is definitely peaked for today. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking for that one. We can take a better look at this from the sky, seeing what I'm more curious what's gonna be looking like from a distance, so we can see a bit better about what we're working with here. It looks like a crane. I think we need to make this a little bit taller in the middle so we have some more strength to it and some more support, because it very much looks like things are just balancing right across there. So with this one right here, we can make this area a little bit stronger. So maybe we instead just bring in some spruce stairs right here. So we do a spruce stair right there, and right in here, I'm thinking because of this being using like iron and things like that, we can use iron in this build to make sure those look like pivot points almost. So maybe that's the part that like turns and moves its way up throughout. And then down here, I was thinking I wanted to really figure out a way that we could throw in some more iron pivot points. So maybe we actually just do it at the base of this one. So we can throw another one in right there. Instantly, that to me is looking way stronger. Let me mess around with this stuff some more, guys, and I'll be back with y'all. As I've sat with this thing here, it's grown on me a little bit more. I actually like this. I think we'll leave this one for now. If you guys have better ideas of what we can do for a crane that would actually fit well into this area, remember we have a 3x3 base, and we need it to be wide enough so that it can easily grab a wide boat in 2 different spots, or a longer boat in 2 different spots, so it doesn't have one central point picking things up. Let me know. I'm curious to hear what you guys got to say, or if you guys have ideas on that would just blow mine out of the water, as I'm sure many of you are much more talented builders than I am. I'd very much appreciate it. All right, so what these guys are doing right here is just some extra wood that they can use to go and chop it up and work with it, moving over into this thing. And what I want to throw in as well is somewhere where we can soak the wood. So we need to have some sort of a system where they can basically put the wood in some water and they can soak it, just because that'll allow them to bend the wood and allow it to be much more mobile, I guess, or not mobile. Mobile is probably not the right word, but like malleable, is that the right word? Like it's bendable, it's more bendy, like you can work with it a lot more easily when you're trying to do some woodworking stuff. Something I learned when I was a little kid trying to make like model boats and things like that. I remember trying to do that all the time and having to soak the wood for like hours before you can do anything with it. Does anybody still do those nowadays? Anybody out there make some model boats? Let me know. Now, beyond that, we can add a few more details in here with the whip details, of course, bringing in some crates. So I was thinking we could do a crate right back there, mix him up a little bit more. We want to mix up the crates so they don't all just look samey all over the place. And if you guys didn't hear, we got some new sounds coming in to the new Minecraft update, which means that we can do some more note block textures easily if we wanted to. Not that we don't have enough left that we can still be working with. Seeing as this boat is currently in progress of being built, they obviously won't be needing to use this thing anytime soon. They got to finish that guy up before they can put it in the water. So I was thinking that we could easily just, because of that, come in here and throw a few crate designs or crates and things around this area just to make it look like we have a little bit of stuff going on. A pile of crates here in the center could be like tools that they're using to work with, and it helps divide the area, makes this feel much more like a workstation than anything else, which I like. I like the ability to divide the areas without really looking at anything. You can't tell from the floor, but you can tell that this is your walkway to get in and out of the area without disrupting whatever workflow is going on there. Whatever they're working on, I think it's cool to make it look like the city is very livable and very much like things are going on in this area. I think we've done a pretty good job of that so far, and I think we can even keep doing an even better job. So what I would like to do to add a little bit more detail in this area like we've been doing with everything else, I want to bring some flowers, I want to bring some flower pots. Maybe I'll try and figure out a way that we can throw a little market stand in here, something like that, but that's a bunch of stuff for today's episode. So Let me go find a comment or question of the day. Let me do some last details here, and we'll finish this one off. Welcome on back, everybody. I've thrown a few little things around this area that are just making it really come to life. For example, we have our magic wand shop right here. I figured this would be some sort of a peddler dude that's like trying to get the people who are going over to the wizard castle. He's like, hey, look at these. I swear these are authentic magic wands. No, it's not just glowing for no reason here. So he has his little chair here where you can stand on top of it, yell at everybody walking along the streets, and try and convince them to buy his wares here. Coming down into this actual area, I've decided that throughout the city, the more I've been looking at the area, the more I want to add in flowers. I love the little bit of color that we get added throughout them, and I'm totally okay with throwing flower pots on top of leaves and just dotting them around the entire place. You can see I brought in some flowers along the edge here, brought in this little cart guy right there, maybe you're pulling your little chest around doing all that good stuff. In this area, I didn't mess with too much of it. I did bring in some more flowers down along the base here, throw in some other things, but anyways, it's time for the comment or question of the day. I'd love if you make a Q&A video in the background, maybe of some video you building with the replay mod. It's the time-lapse mod that I used to use. This is from The Tides. I think that's an awesome idea. We haven't done a Q&A video for a very, very long time. So one, if that's something you guys are interested, let me know. I've been thinking about doing like a big survival grind episode because I'm running low on resources in a few departments. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a big, like, do it all survival episode, like the grindy episode. Here's showing that this world actually is a survival world and we don't just get these resources for free. We actually have to go out and farm every single block that we place in this area. So if you guys think one, a time-lapse episode would be cool, two, a Q&A episode, cool, yay, nay, in the middle, let me know down in the comments below. And three, if you're a yes on the Q&A episode, give me a question. Let me know a question you guys are curious about. It's been a long time. I think it's been about probably 25,000 subscribers later since we did the last one. So for everybody who's new here, and if you guys want to get to know me a little bit better, give me some questions down below for things you'd be curious about. Maybe we'll do that in an episode next week or something like that. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching today's episode. I do hope you guys enjoyed this shipbuilders building, whatever it is. I don't know what this thing would be called. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. Please hit that like button if you did, subscribe if you are new, and I will catch you on the flip side.